Gothberg, and welcome to the world of Hublot. Today, I will be your guide to the proper usage and care of your Hublot Classic Fusion Racing Grade Chronograph Titanium. This is an automatic winding timepiece by virtue of case-back winding mass. It uses the kinetic action of the wrist to wind itself, but should the watch stop, you can resume its operation by winding it manually. Take the crown in its first position, flush the case, and turn it 20 to 30 turns in the clockwise direction. This will be sufficient to start the beat of the balance, and regardless of whether the chronograph is operating or not, you'll see that the watch is operating because the constant seconds subdial at 3 o'clock begins to turn. That's your cue that the watch can now be used conventionally. Set the time, set the date, operate the chronograph. Let's start with the operation of the chronograph. Commence by pressing the pusher at 2 o'clock. Halt it by pressing the pusher at 2 o'clock, and reset with the pressure at 4. It's absolutely imperative that you first stop the chronograph before pressing and resetting the trigger at 4 o'clock. In fact, the watch will give you a little bit of a warning. You'll face resistance if you try to reset a chronograph in motion. That's your cue to back off, stop, and then reset. The chronograph must always be operated in sequence. If reset while in motion, you will damage the chronograph movement. The timepiece can be set precisely using two subsidiary functions, stop seconds or hacking and the quick set date. The quick set date is engaged by pulling the crown out one position or one detent from flush to the case and then turning in a counterclockwise direction. This is a blacked out date, but it is there, and with close scrutiny you'll be able to use it conventionally and set it conventionally using the quick set. There is a restriction on the use of the quick set in that you must never engage that function while the watch is between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m., as that is the period during which the automatic date jumper is engaged. It's a long, dragging complication to spread out the power drain of a jump date over many hours. Always make sure that the watch is not between 8 p.m. and 3 a.m. before using the quick set date. While we were discussing, I pulled the crown out 2 detents from flush to the case when the seconds hand arrived at 60. This is the hacking or stop seconds function, and it lets you set the watch precisely against a reference time. Let's say where I am right now, it's 7:15. So I'm going to set the watch to 7:16 after looking up a precise online atomic clock reference that is set to my time zone. I always set to the correct hour and the next nearest minute because I'm waiting for the seconds hand and the minute hand of that reference time to catch up precisely to the hour, minute, and second that I've set. When they coincide perfectly, push the crown back all the way. You've resumed the beat of the balance. Now your watch is synchronized to a known accurate reference. You're on atomic clock time. The watch is an accurate timekeeper, and if worn regularly, it will only need to be corrected during irregular length months. Turn it all over. Let's talk about hazards facing your watch. It is a 50-meter water-resistant timepiece. However, leather, as inlaid in the strap, is a porous natural material that is never water-resistant, so always put the watch on a water-resistant band, such as an Hublot full rubber strap, prior to aquatic activity. It's also important to note that you can help avoid accidental drowning. Disuse all functions on the crown side. Don't operate the chronograph. Don't wind or set the time or the date. When the watch is submerged or even while there's water on the case, is attempting to use these controls can translate water through the seals to the interior of the case with catastrophic effects. Always disuse these functions while the watch is wet. It's also important to note that over time, a watch will not be equally water resistant as the day it left the factory. Seals age, lubricants degrade, and therefore Hublot recommends, at a minimum every 24 months, having the water resistance of the watch checked at a factory authorized service center. This is also a good time to have total condition as well as running performance checked. Magnetism is a serious concern for owners of a mechanical watch, as the hairspring at the center of your watch's beating balance, its heartbeat, is ferrous and can become magnetized. The hallmark of a magnetized watch is erratic running. Very quickly, very slowly, either way, it may be a magnetized hairspring. If you suspect that your watch has become magnetized, take it to an Hublot factory service center or dealer where specialized equipment is available to quickly and easily demagnetize your watch. As a precaution, keep the watch remote from powerful speakers such as woofers, computer units, standalones. Keep the watch remote from MRI equipment. Keep the watch remote from powerful static magnets such as you will find in the closures of refrigerator doors, wallets, and purses. And keep the watch remote from powerful electromagnets, such as those caused by heavy-duty wiring looms, cabling, and personal devices. Concussion and vibration pose several threats to your watch. They may cause the watch to run imprecisely. At a maximum, they may cause physical damage to the case, crystal, and movement right up to and including the stoppage of the watch. Therefore, Hublot recommends you disuse the timepiece during concussive sports such as batting, tennis, golf, firearms marksmanship, or the riding of snowmobiles, ATVs, and mountain bikes. As a precaution, simply keep the watch in a secure place while partaking in these activities. Finally, as with a high-performance automobile, an Hublot is a high-performance machine and it requires periodic service. Per the Hublot factory, 3 to 5 years is the expected interval, and this should be performed solely with Hublot authorized service centers or the Hublot factory, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized tools, and Hublot factory replacement parts to protect the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to back all labor and parts invested during the service with an Hublot factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email any of our experts who will be happy to walk you through the usage and care of this or any Hublot fine timepiece.